So in breaking news, our Baltimore Ravens have agreed to terms with offensive tackle Joseph Notebloom. And we're going to explain why this is a really good move for the team and why it just simply makes sense. Before we do, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on. Leave a like on the video because it goes such a long way and it helps out the channel a ton. I love y'all. Team Keep It Clean. Y'all keep being great. So the Baltimore Ravens, we knew that they needed some offensive line help. We knew they needed some offensive line depth. It's funny, just in the video that we dropped a couple of hours ago, we were asked a question by our guy Nicholas in our favorite part of the videos, which we feature questions from you all, Team Keep It Clean. But we were asked the question, are the Ravens done yet? Are they done adding to the team? And I said, no, of course not. And he asked, what do you think the Baltimore Ravens are going to add? And we mentioned we could see them adding a veteran inside linebacker, but something that we could definitely see them adding as well would be more offensive linemen, because up front, they're thin, really on the offense and defensive side of the ball. But offensive line, they could use a veteran there, because obviously they got Ronnie Stanley, Tyler Linderbaum, they got Daniel Falele, and Roger Rosengarten, and those are four starters. Those are going to be their four starters on the offensive line. But at left guard, it's some question marks. It's just really question marks with depth, because we got Andrew Vorhees, we got Ben Cleveland, they drafted Emery Jones, but other than that, it's like, all right, we got Nick Samack as well, but who's going to be that left guard? It's not set in stone. That's where the most competition is going to be. So with the Baltimore Ravens signing somebody like a Joseph Noteboom, a 7-year veteran, and Jeff Zrebiec mentioned he was actually on the Rams Super Bowl team, which is nice, because it's always nice to have as much Super Bowl experience as you can possibly have. Whether somebody was a starter or not on a Super Bowl team, just the fact that they were there, they can absorb all of that knowledge and that experience, and they can help share that game with the team that they own now, which is the Baltimore Ravens, because they are aspiring to not only get to, but win the Super Bowl. So hopefully this will be the year. We'll see how everything goes. But this is a great move for the team, because this is exactly what they needed. They need more bodies up front. And then let's read what Jeff Zrebiec had to say really quick. He said, Joseph Noteboom, he's a 7-year vet who has made 35 career starts. And the Ravens needed a veteran swing tackle, and Noteboom should fill that role. Now, we talked about how with the competition on Ravens offensive line, really the only competition is at left guard. And with Joseph Noteboom, he spent the majority of his career on the left side of the offensive line. And he's played a little bit of tackle and a little bit of guard as well. So 2018, he played tackle. 2019, he played guard. 2020, 2021, and 2022, and 2023, he played left and right tackle. So he did a little mix of both of them. And then in 2024, he just straight up listed as an offensive lineman. So they say, hey, Noteboom, where we need you, you go in and make it happen. So this is good for the Baltimore Ravens, because this gives them an added presence, added veteran presence up front on the offensive line. And this is important, because you think about, I know my guy Javo, he mentioned it in the last video as well. A lot of stuff that the Ravens are doing, it was covered in the last video by Nicholas and Javo, so shout out to the both of y'all. But my guy Javo mentioned, he said, man, I feel like the Baltimore Ravens, they did not do enough up front to protect Lamar Jackson. I feel like they should have done more. I feel like they should have done better there. And I think this is the Baltimore Ravens not necessarily acknowledging that, but being like, look, we did draft they drafted 2 guards, I believe. So they're like, you know what? We drafted 2 guards, but still, we could use a veteran there, just in case anything happens to it. This is also an insurance policy for Ronnie Stanley, too. Insurance policy for Ronnie Stanley, for Roger Rosengarten, really just for the entire offensive line. This is a great example with the Baltimore Ravens of stay ready so you ain't gotta get ready. Great signing, Eric DeCosta. Good stuff. Team Keep It Clean, make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything going on with our Baltimore Ravens. And I figured, you know what? While we here, we might as well go over some of Team Keep It Clean's questions. Y'all already know how to be a part of it. If y'all ever want to send anything, the mailing address is down below in the description. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Let's get straight into it. First question came from my guy, Ty. He said, post-draft thoughts. Hey, man, hope you're doing great. I know I feel good about this draft class. I love Starks in the first round. I just didn't think he would fall that far. Well, he did. And Eric DeCosta, he talked about that. He gave a whole breakdown about possibility of trading up, trading back, all that stuff. Eric DeCosta, he knows his stuff. Anyway, he said, Green is a monster who I genuinely believe has the potential to be one of them guys. Constantly getting pressure and getting to the quarterback. The offensive line picks were good. Not a ton to say about it. Just hope they're ready to block like crazy. Look like the whole division is trying to draft answers for the Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson backfield. Oh, they are. They are, and that's smart by them. I mean, why wouldn't they? It just makes sense. Anyway, he said, I'm definitely happy with the People's pick in the 6th. Crazy value if he pans out, which I truly believe he will. Oh, yeah, Ravens got a good history of developing defensive linemen. He said, the wide receiver and corner picks seem more like those special teams dart throws if they make the roster. Maybe return specialists or something along those lines. Definitely happy that we brought a kick out, too, because Tucker just doesn't have it anymore. First half of the season, oh, yeah, I could agree with you there. Second half of the season, he showed his stuff. He came back, but yeah, we'll see what happens with everything else. He said, overall, one of the best drafts we've had in recent memory when it comes to hammering down the positions of need. I just hope we can find an undrafted free agent star or something to take on that big body nose tackle role that Pierce played. I think Ravens are still going to be looking for that. Now, we still got to go over all the undrafted free agents that the Baltimore Ravens signed. We got a long way to go. We still got some drafted guys to go over, too, so we ain't forget about it. I know somebody even hit me up on Instagram today. They said, hey, you ain't covered this undrafted free agent. What's going on? You skipped him. I'm like, hold up. Give me some time, my friend. Anyway, he said, us doubling up on corner was good, at least for competition to make or keep roster spots, if nothing else. I'm looking forward to a potential TJ Tampa breakout season. That would be nice. That would be really nice. If TJ Tampa can get it going this year, stay healthy, and be out there, because he adds versatility as well. So that's something that we can't forget about. Appreciate you bringing that up. He said, regardless, we got some time before we know for sure what some of these guys will look like on the field. Looking forward to minicamp and OTAs in the near future. Time for another slow period before we get a ton more big football news. Oh, yeah. You know how it goes. He said, we almost there, though, and I'm ready for it. Oh, yeah, we all are, Ty. Next question came from my guy, BB. He said, could the addition of Malachi Starks potentially allow Kyle Hamilton to go back to the Swiss Army knife player he was before all the safety trouble the Ravens had prior to him being the primary safety? For sure. I think the Starks pick, it does that, but it's also because Ardarius Washington most likely, ain't nothing set in stone, but he most likely won't be back in the near future, like after this year. So I think that draft pick was just covering all areas of safety for the Baltimore Ravens. He also said Starks and Ardarius Washington could hold down the backfield while both Humphrey, Hamilton, and Wiggins pick up the rest. I think this pick will define the secondary for years to come. Oh, it will. It will, because he'll be here for the next 4 to 5 years at least. Well, that's his rookie contract. So, yeah, he'll be here for the long term. Hopefully he pans out. I think he will, especially with having Kyle Hamilton next to him. That, it's exciting, man. When you really sit back and think about it, like, wow, we got Malachi Starks who can do all of this. We got Super Duper Kyle who can do all of that. And it's just going to be fun. Anyway, he said Starks knows how to turn his head around. It got jokes. Starks knows how to turn his head around and could possibly be the ball hawk safety of the future. A+ grade on this pick for EDC. Also, signing Von Miller is a definite Raven move, and I think his presence in a locker room for leadership and being a mentor will be a positive for the team. He could be a 1 or 2 down relief player. Maybe. Oh, man. Yeah, maybe he could, like, on passing downs. On run, no, Von Miller, you stay on the sideline. Passing downs, hey, Von Miller, you come. You good? You feeling good? Yeah, I'm good, coach. All right, Von Miller, come through. But then you bring Von Miller on, who do you put out? Because you got a David Ojabo. I'm sure he hasn't had the career that he's wanted to have to this point. So what happens there? Adisa Isaac was a rookie last year. He probably ain't going nowhere. They could do a little roster manipulation with like injury reserve and all that, because they're gonna do it with somebody. It's gonna happen with somebody. Who it is, no clue. But anyway, Ravens got options on what they can do. So there's that. He said, thanks for the draft coverage, and as always, positive and team keep it clean environment. Hey, love you, BB. I appreciate you. One of the best drafts ever. Next question came from my guy Chauncey. He said, I know it's early, but drafting where we drafted, being able to address all needs and get steal after steal after steal. I'm going to call it now. This will go down as one of our best drafts ever. That's some high praise right there. Now, I mean, 2018, I would say that one's pretty good too, my friend. But and the Kyle Hamilton and Linderbaum draft from a couple years ago, that was pretty good. But he said one of the best drafts ever. Hey, you okay now? Anyway, he said starting safety, Starks, one of the most productive pass rushers in Mike Green, a 3-year starter who was once projected as a first rounder, Emery Jones. Oh, I didn't know that. I got to look some stuff up about him. He said future starting kicker, Tyler Loop, productive wide receiver that can be electric as a returner, LaJohntay Wester. He said sleepers at corner, linebacker, and defensive tackle. Sorry about the lengthy message, but this looks like that will be a draft that we'll look back at for years to come. What are your thoughts? My thoughts is that I hope that you end up being right. And it does seem like Eric DeCosta has really gotten this draft thing down. His first couple years, it was a little shaky draft-wise and whatnot. And a lot of situations and circumstances contribute to that. But recently, the drafting for impact and getting impact, especially top heavy of the draft, the top of the draft, but even getting some impact from later round picks, 4th rounders, 5th rounders, 6th rounders, this could be a draft where they definitely get that because they need it. Short and long term. Next question came from my guy Bucco. Beezy, he said, hope all is well. Glad to see you back home, safe and sound to your family. Hey, I appreciate you, Bucco. Thank you, man. I ain't gonna lie. EDC did this thing this draft. It's amazing how these really good players fell to the Ravens. EDC filled the edge rusher and defensive tackle gaps while also bringing in a punt/kick returner and competition at cornerback and interior offensive line. This draft was one of his best and will probably be looked back highly on in the next 10 years. See how Team Keep It Clean be on the same page? See? My guy in the previous question was just saying the exact same thing. Anyway, continuing, he said, my question to you is, who do you think outside of Starks will make the biggest impact in the short term and the long term? For me, the obvious one is Green for the short term. I agree. Pass rusher, a finisher, a closer, something that the Baltimore Ravens needed more of. They needed more production. They needed just somebody just straight up nasty on a defensive line who can get to the quarterback. That's Mike Green. Now, long term, I would say Tyler Loop, because we needed a kicker and Justin Tucker. As you know how impactful and how important the kicking game is. So I think Tyler Loop will have one of the biggest impacts, both short and long term. Really short and long term for both of them. Anyway, he said, I can see him being an all-pro for Mike Green, he's talking about, by year 2. For the long term, I'm going to go with Carson Vinson from Alabama A&M. The dude has a gray head on his shoulders and is built like Ronnie Stanley. It's probably almost athletic tackle on the roster now. Okay, I got some homework to do, my friends. I appreciate you putting me on. He said, with him sitting behind Stanley for a year or 2, he will be a dominant left tackle for Lamar for the rest of his career, and eventually will get that gold jacket. Oh, you call him a Hall of Famer already? Oh, he just like that? Like that? Okay. He said, sorry for the long email, but I'm fired up for this upcoming season. Love you, man. God bless the Ravens and Super Bowl 60 and 61 champs. Hey, love you too, Bucco. Appreciate it.